Welcome to Raw Talk. Link down below as always to credit WWE. Almost swallowed my microphone there for putting this together. Right into it. This is probably one of my favorite outfits. Literally, pun intended, Seth Rollins was golden. Like, to me, the whole look, I freaking loved it. It was really awesome. And I actually really liked Finn Balor's silver pants. I actually have a pair of shorts similar to that. So that was kind of cool. When it comes to Becky Lynch defeating Sonya Deville for the Money in the Bank qualifying match, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's weird. I like Sonya Deville. I liked her when she was with Adam Pearce, the whole, backstage commissioner or whatever she was. And I do really like Chelsea Green as a person, as a personality in WWE. But when it comes down to it in the ring, it's just like, whatever. But I really do like Becky Lynch. Okay? So, again, that's not a knock at these people. Personally, like I said, it's just my opinion from what I see on the screen. Whether they're capable of more or not isn't really the point, because I didn't really get the E out of WWE in that one. Okay? Gunther defeated Kevin Owens in the non-title match. I mean, to me, this was like, are you kidding me? It was great. I really, really liked it. A lot of back and forth. Now, obviously, it ended the way it did, but it still left both people looking really strong, and I really appreciate that. Now, let's get into it, okay? Because there's a lot of times, actually, that's not true. A lot of times I think I'm going to get it, but sometimes I do get where some people say, you just don't like the female wrestlers, you're sexist. No, it's because a lot of them, I just don't think they're that great, okay? But when there's somebody that is great, oh, I am not shy to tell you they're amazing. So when it comes to Kayden Carter and Katana Chance, I have no idea who they are. I know they're from NXT, and they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were champion for 4 years? No, that can't be. Or anyways, you know who they are, obviously, right there. And they got defeated by Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, which I do like. I think they're very dominant, and obviously Ronda Rousey's a legit badass. I was really blown away by Kayden Carter and Katana Chance. Again, I've never seen them. I don't have any emotional attachment to them. I don't know who they are. I barely know their names. But that first impression, it grabbed me. And I was like, I'm all in for it. We need more tag teams. Just like, we see here Sangha and Veer there for the men's tag team division. Like, again, those guys just grabbed me first chance. These two ladies did the same thing. Whereas, like I said, with all due respect, I'm more attached to a character, like from a character standpoint, to Chelsea Green. I love her husband, Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona. Sonya Deville, I just think she's great, period. But like I said, when it comes to being entertained in that squared circle, for me, they don't deliver. This here was like, wow. Like I was just really, really, okay? So like I said, if you ever get the impression that I don't like the women in wrestling, I mean, they're usually, no offense, not my first excitement, but there's a few, and the few that are wicked, let me tell you, I love watching them. It's amazing. Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura ends in a no contest, obviously, because Bronson Reed interfered, but the whole thing again, even the backstage talk with Bronson Reed, like I said, first impression of this guy, just kind of like Katana Chance and Cade and, the other one there that I just, mentioned there. Can't find her name. Kayden Carter. There we go. This was an awesome match. And then even him interfering at the end. He was a part of the show. I liked it. I liked it. Dominic Mysterio slaps Cody Rhodes on Miz TV. You know, I love The Miz. I really, really, really love The Miz. But there's something about his Miz TV and his whole thing as of late of just The Miz that's getting under my skin. It's not him. It's him being misused. I feel like he's being used as like a novelty act. And it's just, quite frankly, it's frustrating. I want to see more of The Miz. He's got a lot of fuel left in the tank, I feel. But again, Dominic Mysterio, the whole Rhea thing, I'm like fully on board with it. It's really, really awesome. Just wish we could see more of The Miz. Again, you know, Zoe Stark, Natalya. Like, I love Natalya, and it's not because I'm biased, because she's Canadian, and then, you know, her dad, Jim Neidhart, Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, one of my favorite wrestlers, one of the only wrestlers I've ever met. It has nothing to do with that. Natalya is one of those, again, like, legit badasses, in my opinion. Great wrestler, very solid. You don't always get to see that, though, in the ring, and that's why it's confusing sometimes. You know, in wrestling, this is actually probably the epitome of a perfect example. You have wrestlers that can do, like, more than you can think. Hulk Hogan's a good example. If you watched his shit in the 80s in Japan, drop toe holds, fucking drop kicks and all this shit, you'd be like, wait, what the fuck happened when he came to WWF at the time? And it's because he's kind of told to just be that big brute with like 2 or 3 moves, okay? Sometimes you'll have wrestlers that can deliver a lot more of a spectacle than you think they can, but they don't. Natalya, I've seen the badass fire in her, and it's not that she doesn't have it. Maybe she's told to tone it down. I really don't know the ins and outs, but she got waffled, and maybe that's the point, is to undersell yourself. Maybe that's what Chelsea Green does sometimes, because I know she's capable of actually being a really good wrestler. I'm telling you, from day one, Zoe Stark is like a badass. Like, I like her. I think she's good. She's confident, comfortable in her skin. And I like the whole thing with Trish Stratus. It was unexpected when it happened, like last week there. But I think it's good. I think this is going to flourish into something nicely. Again, I wish I could see a little bit more of Natalya. She's had a pretty good career. Just wish, again, we could see a little bit more. Kind of feeling like she's getting Zack Rydered again, or Dana Brooke. You know, Dana Brooke, I'm telling you, more talented than you might think she is. Indus Shear's vicious attack forced the referee to call off the match against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Again. Like, I am on board, man, with Indus Shear. So good. He's a former professional kickboxer, then Veer Mahan, as he used to be called, I think. Great, too. Cedric Alexander was a solid wrestler, but again was made to look really weak. And Shelton motherfucking Benjamin, man, when he was in his, not prime, when he was in his prime from a script perspective, Shelton Benjamin, right fucking now, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, maybe change my words a little bit. You want to talk about solid fucking wrestlers, man. I mean solid. I'm talking like sheesh solid. Chad Gable. Yes, for a second my ADH brain forgot his name. You want to talk about Kurt Angles. You want to talk about people that are like, wow. Like what the blueprint of a wrestler should be. Shelton fucking Benjamin. Again, goes back to that thing I was saying. It's hard sometimes to understand or see how good an actual wrestler is, because sometimes they'll undersell themselves and it's not about them showcasing how great they are athletically or just how good they are in the ring. Shelton Benjamin was made to, you know, to be looked like just a regular random local talent of a squash match. But he's capable of so much more. Anyways, kind of bugs me in a way, but that really put into Sheer, again, from a script perspective, way up there. Because that was a big, squash for them. And then Seth freaking Rollins, again, Damian Priest, when I first saw him when he was a rookie there, it's not that I wasn't impressed with him. I thought he was cool. Kind of reminded me of Baron Corbin, tall and, in stature. They kind of just had that similar thing. Baron Corbin, again, a superstar that I think is great. I think he's fantastic. But he's just not getting, that great of a push. I wish he would have still been with JBL. But yeah, this was a really great match. Obviously, he defeated Damian Priest. I wasn't seeing, the titles changing hand, but that's not the point. They still made the match, and it didn't matter if it was predictable. I liked it. Like I said, overall, each show, I always enjoy watching wrestling. I wish I had more time to watch NXT, to watch all the time AEW and New Japan Pro and all those different promotions, but I don't. But I still keep up with the news of what's going on. So yeah, now let's take a look at some of the stuff that's happened behind the scenes. This is funny, just the whole Kevin Owens freaking out thing. I really like it. I really like, again, Imperium, all of them. They're just great. Gunther, such an amazing Intercontinental Champion. Again, these two, it was my first time seeing them, and just blown away. Yeah, that's the recap from SmackDown there, that new belt. I like it because it accentuates the W a lot more than having it on a black background. That gold helps it pop out. Still a poor excuse, and I still think it's lazy. And I think my understanding is that the two belts that he has, one of them is retired. It's Adios Muchachos. Basically the black belt, right? That was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt, but he's the Universal Champion. That's the blue belt, and because we got rid of the red belt, which I still forget how that happened. I even tried looking it up. Now we're getting rid of the blue belt. People really hated the red belt, apparently. I love the red belt. I like red more than blue, unless it's like a nice sky blue, or a SmackDown blue is pretty decent, but not a navy blue. Navy blue's too close to black. Fucking hate that color. Matt Riddle, that was cool. Made him look really, really strong. It's like, yeah, fuck around and find out. What I didn't like about the segment, and it's very stereotypical. You have a guy, they do the backstage brawl thing a little bit. Nothing too crazy's going on. There's no Brock Lesnar event going on with pipes and broken arms and shit. Just a fucking ankle lock. And they overreact. They treat the whole, get some help back here, get some medic. Meanwhile, you got a fucking 60-minute Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels back in the mid-90s, late 90s. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like a 60-minute match versus a 6-second little fiddly rinky-dink pipsqueak, whatever you want to call it, altercation in the back. That I don't like because it's not realistic. Now we could say, you're funny. WWE and realism. Yeah, I get it. Trust me, shit's real. It's scripted, but it's still real. That's not realistic. To over-dramatize the situation, I don't get it. This was kind of cool. Again, I don't know much about Johnny Gargano because he came from NXT again. I did not know that when he tried, he was told, like, yeah, pal. Because dude's tiny. Like even compared to Rey Mysterio. But I think he's great since he's been, like, on the main roster there, as they call it. I think he's great in that little promo. I learned something about him I didn't know. I didn't know it was like that bad, that he didn't think he was going to make it or anybody else thought he was going to make it. But he's like, you know what? Bitch, move out the way. I'm coming in. And then obviously on Raw, Paul Heyman spoke, and it is going to be interesting to see what happens on SmackDown when Jey Uso has to figure out, like, what is it that he's going to do. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. And how far are we into the video? Good. 14 minutes. Quick, under 15 minutes. It's kind of my deal. I'm trying to wrap these up to be a bit quicker. The Raw to be maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then the SmackDown, because obviously there's like less going on because the show's shorter, to have it like 7 to 10 minutes. I kind of just want to, actually just want to keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously, not a lot of people enjoy these videos, but I really enjoy them. And it also helps me to keep myself accountable, to make sure I keep watching wrestling, because I really do have a passion for it. And I want to make the time to at least watch Raw, SmackDown, dip into a little AEW and some other promotions and NXT, kind of at least figure out who's on the roster. I'm trying to get more into that. But with my main channel, playing guitar, working out, all this other crap going on in my life, it could be hard to manage the time. And I don't always get a chance to play WWE 2K23, and I feel like I don't want to overflood my channel like I do my main one, popping 5, 6, 7 videos a day sometimes. I don't want to do that. I want to respect people's time more on this channel than I do my main one. So at least 1 to 2 videos a day. I can't see myself doing more than 3 videos a day ever, unless there's like legitimate, like, oh my god, these are the best sliders ever, or holy shit, look, there's an update, they fixed the sliders, you don't have to edit your match. Like, unless there's like some real concrete shit coming out, like, oh, Fight Forever's gonna release 2 weeks early. It isn't, but I'm saying, like, let's say, for example, that was gonna happen. Oh yeah, I would constantly be popping videos out that day. But generally speaking, I'm trying to do like, 2 to 3 max. And even for some people, that's considered like a lot, and it can hurt the algorithm and all that. But anyways, so this helps with when I'm not recording gameplay footage or trying to do a little tutorial, kind of running out of things to teach people in 2K23. So the views are going down astronomically compared to my first month on here. But that's okay, because ultimately I'm having fun. And it looks like I'll probably get monetized very shortly, probably within the next month, probably sometime in like July, August. So that's really cool. So yeah, thanks for the support so far, and for those that listen and watch me ramble on like a madman. As always, if you like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and making me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up. So it's not just Assemble and Small Afro and Macho T and Chris Danker and BDE that are getting all the love. They can get the juicy piece of the cherry pie, because that's got all the sugar and shit, and I don't want no diabetes on this channel. I just want the crust, arguably the best part of the pie. But I want the crust that goes all the way around the fucking pie, okay? They can have the middle and all the juicy sugar. I want the dry crust on the outside. And that's what it does. If you comment, thumbs up, that's what it means. It's a lot more than just some happy feel-good moment I get for, getting 5 likes on a video. I mean, it's cool to see, don't get me wrong. Anyhow, you didn't like the video. This whole post rant is going to be longer than the goddamn highlight of Raw. You didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down, and I'll bend it in half and twist it, and you'll get one of those when you wake up out of bed and you're laying down, you're about to wake up. Bump. And then right after, a stomp from Seth. Just don't forget, they're a couple. I think they have a kid together now. Yeah. Not think, they do. Anyway, sometimes I forget that because there's no, like, Maurice, Miz. I'm talking too much. You want to subscribe? Great. If not, whatever. I get it. There's a lot of other people out there. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.